All right, welcome back everyone to another Deep Dive Explainer. If you're gearing up for competitive exams, we're talking UGC NET, KSET, SET, or maybe an assistant professor exam. You already know the devil is in the details, right? Today, as part of the DigitalDNAN.com educational series by Dr. Parshwanath, we are getting into a real masterclass on some high-yield English literature topics. We're going to tackle 10 absolute must-know questions, unpack those tricky little traps examiners love to set, and give you the memory tricks you need to beat them. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive right into this. Okay, real quick, here's our game plan for today. We're starting with the dramatic stage. Think Jacobean drama and Shakespeare. Then we pivot to poetic visions, hanging out with the Romantics and Alexander Pope. Next up is novels and modern minds, taking us from Mary Shelley all the way to the Beat Generation. And we'll wrap it all up by locking everything in the memory vault. Let's do this. All right, section 1, the dramatic stage. We're stepping way back in time here to an era of, honestly, just intense emotion, super complex plots, and unforgettable characters. Yep, the wild world of Shakespeare and the Jacobeans. So here's a classic UGC NET style question that trips up, well, literally everyone at some point. Which of these works does not belong to John Webster? Take a look at these 4. The White Devil, The Duchess of Malfi, The Devil's Law Case, and Women Beware Women. Examiners absolutely love grouping these Jacobean playwrights together just to see if you're paying close attention. Do you have your guess? If you guessed Women Beware Women, you nailed it. That is the trap. It's actually a super famous Jacobean tragedy by Thomas Middleton, not Webster. Webster is the genius behind the other 3, his 1612 masterpiece, The White Devil, the iconic Duchess of Malfi from 1614, and his later tragicomedy, The Devil's Law Case. You absolutely have to isolate Middleton from Webster if you want to score those points. To make sure you don't second-guess yourself when you're staring at the exam paper, let's anchor this right now. Here's your memory trick. Middleton equals Women Beware Women. Look at that, 2 M's, 2 W's. Just flip the letters in your mind. Lock that in, and you're golden. Okay, moving on to the bard himself. This one builds on our stage knowledge. In Shakespeare's original text of Macbeth, how are the 3 witches actually designated in the stage directions? Like, are they witch 1, 2, and 3? Or maybe elder, younger, and youngest? Think about it for a second. If you said first witch, second witch, and third witch, you are spot on. It's funny, right? The reality is so incredibly simple, but students overthink it all the time because we're used to modern shorthand. Shakespeare literally just used those numerical words. So when you see distractors like elder witch or the number 1, don't fall for it. Stick to the classic text. Still on Shakespeare, let's test your quote recognition. Which play gives us this amazing line? Poetry is feigning lover's folly. Think about the vibe of those words. Are we dealing with a heavy doom and gloom tragedy like Hamlet or King Lear, or does this sound a bit more like a playful chat about romance? It is, of course, from his brilliant pastoral comedy, As You Like It. This whole quote is part of a really witty, fun discussion about poetry, friendship, and love. A great rule of thumb for the exam, when you see words like feigning and folly all tangled up with romance, steer clear of the tragedies. You're definitely in comedy territory. All right, let's keep this momentum going. Transitioning smoothly into our second theme today, poetic visions. We are leaving the stage behind and diving headfirst into verse, deep philosophy, and the romantic movement. Here's a philosophical heavy hitter that shows up in exams constantly. Who made the massive claim, whatever is right? Was it Robert Burns? Maybe Wordsworth? Hausman? Or Alexander Pope? The answer is Alexander Pope, from his incredibly famous An Essay on Man. What you really need to take away here is the philosophical meaning behind it. Pope is expressing this profound belief in divine providence, basically the idea that the universe operates on a rational, divine plan, even if our tiny mortal brains can't totally comprehend it. Your mental link for the exam? Just think, Essay on Man equals Pope. Easy. Let's jump forward a bit to the Romantic period. I've got a double challenge for you now. Can you match these 2 Titan authors, Percy Bysshe Shelley and John Keats, to their respective works, The Cenci and The Eve of St. Agnes? Let's break this down because this is prime real estate for exam traps. The Cenci, published in 1819, is Percy Bysshe Shelley's verse tragedy. It's based on this really dark historical Italian story. It's a play, right? Not a lyric or an ode. Now, The Eve of St. Agnes, on the other hand, is John Keats' gorgeous narrative poem. It features the famous lovers Porphyro and Madeline. Just make sure you don't mix this up with Keats' other stuff like La Belle Dame sans Merci. To lock this in forever, use these two memory hooks. First, the Cenci equals Shelley drama. And for Keats, just visualize the romantic couple. Porphyro and Madeline equals St. Agnes. Connecting specific characters directly to the title is literally a foolproof way to crush those matching questions. Fantastic. Moving right along into our third section, novels and modern minds. We're shifting gears into prose and crossing the bridge into the 19th and 20th centuries. Let's kick this off with an absolute classic trick question. You've probably seen this one. What is the name of the monster in Mary Shelley's Frankenstein? Is it Frankenstein, Victor, Clerval, or does the poor guy have no name at all? If you said no name, you absolutely nailed it. This perfectly illustrates how pop culture just completely messes with our literary memory. Thanks, Hollywood. But in the actual text, Mary Shelley deliberately never names the creature. Victor Frankenstein is the scientist. He's the creator. Henry Clerval is Victor's buddy. And the monster? Just the creature. So your memory trick, the monster has no name. All right, gear up because we are bunching our last 3 modern prose and drama questions into a rapid-fire challenge. I want to test your knowledge on Thomas Hardy, Samuel Beckett, and Jack Kerouac. Do you know the defining works, the plot twists, and the literary movements they're tied to? Let's unpack these fast. First up, Thomas Hardy's The Mayor of Casterbridge. This novel kicks off with one of the most wild opening scenes ever. A drunken Michael Henchard literally sells his wife, Susan, to a sailor named Richard Newson. Crazy, right? Okay, next. Jumping to 1948, it was Jack Kerouac who officially coined the term Beat Generation. This is a movement that gave us iconic writers like Allen Ginsberg and William Burroughs. And finally, we have Samuel Beckett's Krapp's Last Tape. It's this brilliant, defining piece of one-character drama, where an old man just sits and listens to and argues with tape recordings of his younger self. Wow, okay, we have covered some serious ground today, from Jacobean stages all the way to Beat Generation slang. So let's transition into our final section, the memory vault. This is where we cement all the concepts and tricks we've discussed so they stay in your long-term memory for exam day. Honestly, you might want to grab a quick screenshot here. Let's do a quick revision of these traps. Middleton means women beware women. Remember the M's and W's. In Frankenstein, the monster has no name. The term Beat Generation, that's all Kerouac. Krapp's Last Tape is super simple. One man and one tape. And for Hardy's Mayor of Casterbridge, just follow the arrow in your head. Henchard sells his wife to Newson. Run through this list a few times and you won't even blink when these distractors pop up on your test. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought that goes way beyond just passing a multiple choice test. Today, we saw Mary Shelley deliberately leave her creation nameless, right? And we saw Samuel Beckett strip his stage down to practically nothing, just one guy and a tape recorder. If these brilliant authors are intentionally leaving these massive, gaping holes in their work, what does that say about what they expect us, the readers, the audience, to bring to the text? It relies entirely on our own imagination to fill in those blanks. Kind of changes how you read, doesn't it? Keep that in mind as you prep for your UGC NET or KSET exams. You've got this. Thanks for hanging out with me on this DigitalDNAN.com explainer, and happy studying.